Hello, today I'd like to talk about probate. I know that that is not a happy subject because that means you've lost a family member or a loved one, and that shock of that and what it entails with their property and the unknown can be really overwhelming in such a time of grief. Let's cover some things that will help you maybe understand the process a little more. I'm going to do a few videos on this that have a few different topics. So hopefully that helps you during this time to be able to find some comfort that you're going to make it through it. And, we can work together on that for sure. So, one of the first questions that somebody may have is, do you actually have to sell the house during probate in Florida? Well, not necessarily. Many people assume that it automatically needs that, but there's certain criteria that can say, no, you don't have to. Like it depends on the estate structure, um, the person that passed, what their debt is, and how the property was titled to them. Did they put anybody else on the property? So there's some things to look at that mean that you might be out of the woods. Hopefully they were forward thinking a little bit, and it didn't really go deep into probate. So it is not required for you to sell the property just because it's in probate. So the home can pass directly to an heir, and if that property or that person that passed has enough assets to cover the debts, selling might not have to be an option. You can just pay whatever they owed from their assets and still keep the house. So here's the kicker: if the property was the main asset and the estate needs the funds, to pay off other debts, then the selling of the house is really the practical solution to that. That way, the heirs aren't coming up with money. Um, so, when is the probate sale usually necessary? When the estate or the a person needs cash to pay the creditors, the taxes, the insurance, or any legal expenses that that person had. Multiple heirs can inherit the property and cannot agree on what to do with it. Then probate's necessary because then it's a fair judgment that takes everything into consideration. So it's fair across the board. So sometimes when family members are arguing about it, that estate can go into probate for that reason. The home is vacant and ongoing costs are becoming a burden. So maybe you've held it for a while. Let's say you did pay some of those debts off, but nobody visits it, nobody uses it as a vacation home. And here you have the insurance and the taxes and the repairs, and the roof is getting older. And now it's really becoming a burden. So the court could authorize the personal representative to sell. He can say, hey, you know what? It's too much of a burden and we need to just liquidate that property. The next question is, can you sell the house before probate is finished? Yeah. It can be listed and marketed during probate. So, you're going to have to market it a little differently. You're going to have to put some language in there so that people understand that it is in probate. So it might take a little longer. When you get that contract, let's say, that comes in, you have to get approval from the court system to actually move forward with the sale. So you can't just undercut the value of the house just to be fast. The courts will make sure that it's a fair offer and that um, they have to stamp approval on it. So, and there will be specific language in that agreement that will protect all parties. They make sure that. So, the closing typically occurs after the court approval. So, again, things may take a little bit more time. So, probate sales are different from a traditional sale because you're going to have additional disclosures. Let's say you never lived in the house of the person that passed. So, how can you fill out some of that documentation? So, and the timelines are certainly going to be a little longer. You're going to have to go through that court. And, how much longer may depend on, again, how that is structured in that will and that last testament. So, the buyers of those properties need to understand that they can't be in a hurry because those timelines have to be met and it's not something you can skip over. So, what's going to make a house like that sell will be proper pricing, because it's critical to avoid the delays. You're already going to be dealing with the court, so you want to price it properly. You want that contract to be a firm, good contract, so that part of it's not holding up the process. So probate does not necessarily mean that you have to sell the house. Each estate is unique, whether it's the legal part of it or the financial factors, because again, we don't know how much that person may owe to creditors or debtors. So getting guidance early and having somebody help you through that process that understands it. So reach out to an agent if you're even considering it. And we can talk about those things, because some of them will be costly mistakes that we can maybe help you avert in the process. So if you're at all thinking that you may want to sell an heirs, or you're a personal representative of that person and you don't understand the process, give me a call. I would be happy, very happy. And even if you don't plan on selling it and you still have some questions about the process, give me a call. I'm here to help. It's a hard time. I understand that. And no matter the circumstance, I'm always here to help. So give me a call. My phone number is 352 601 8627, and I would help you no matter the situation. So I'm here for you. Thanks so much.